Today, the United States said Moscow has stationed as many as 190,000 troops around Ukraine's borders, nearly half now in attack position. And late today, President Biden said Vladimir Putin has made up his mind to go to war.
As of this moment, I'm convinced he's made the decision. We have reason to believe that.
To be clear, you are convinced that President Putin is going to invade Ukraine. Is that what you just said a few moments ago?
Yes, I did. Yes.
President Biden made that grim assessment after holding another round of urgent talks this afternoon with European allies. The president also described what the administration believes are Russia's next moves.
We have reason to believe the Russian forces are planning to and intend to attack Ukraine in the coming week, in the coming days. We believe that they will target Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, a city of 2.8 million innocent people. The United States and our allies are prepared to defend every inch of NATO territory from any threat to our collective security as well. We also will not send troops in to fight in Ukraine, but we will continue to support the Ukrainian people. If Russia pursues its plans, it will be responsible for a catastrophic and needless war of choice. The West is united and resolved. We're ready to impose severe sanctions on Russia if it further invades Ukraine. Russia can still choose diplomacy. It is not too late to de-escalate and return to the negotiating table.
Right now, Vice President Kamala Harris is leading the U.S. delegation at the three-day Munich Security Conference in Munich, Germany. The Vice President, Secretary of State Antony Blinken, and 20 lawmakers will meet with allies about the crisis. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky is planning to join the conference this weekend, but as NBC News reports, the White House is worried that Putin might take advantage of Zelensky's absence, and there are very real concerns about whether he could return to Ukraine from Munich if war breaks out. A spokesperson for Zelensky said they're closely monitoring the situation and a final decision will be made in the coming hours. Meanwhile, tensions are escalating in eastern Ukraine, along with fears that pro-Russia groups are trying to provoke a war. NBC News chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel has the latest from Ukraine tonight.
While Russian ships today conducted drills in the Black Sea, in eastern Ukraine, Russia may be building a case for war through a crisis that doesn't exist. Today, Russian-backed separatists there on sympathetic social media channels put out a barrage of images appearing to show people bracing to be attacked by the Ukrainian military. An orphanage being evacuated. Air raid sirens tested. And this supposed car bomb. No casualties. Ukraine said it was staged. One of the separatist leaders called for people to flee to Russia, women, children, and the elderly first, because he claimed the Ukrainian army is about to launch an all-out war.
It defies basic logic to believe the Ukrainians would choose this moment with well over 150,000 troops arrayed on its borders to escalate a year-long conflict.
Instead, Ukraine accuses the separatists, who are armed and led by the Kremlin, of firing on Ukrainian territory in an attempt to bait the Ukrainian army into a response. Tonight, Ukrainian officials accuse Russia of using these separatists to create a fabricated pretext for an invasion.
On Saturday, Vladimir Putin is set to personally oversee large-scale drills involving Russia's strategic nuclear forces. The U.S. Army says about 150 American troops and additional fighting vehicles will be moved into Hungary in the coming days. And two U.S. officials tell NBC News President Biden will be closely engaged with his national security team over the weekend.